Hey everybody, it's Connie here, aka a Phoenix Rising 11. Thank you for joining me. I first want to start out by saying that I'm about to tell you a very personal story, and if you get weirded out easily or you're not that open-minded, I would strongly suggest that you stop watching now. This is actually going to be a video response to 3 people on YouTube whose video I saw this morning. Wolf Shaman 777, I Am Free Are You, and Ex Party Girl. The reason why I saw these 3 people's video this morning was because I was doing research on something called sleep paralysis. Now, it sounds like a very medical term, but in my view, it's a very spiritual phenomenon. And something happened to me a couple nights ago, and actually this thing that's been happening to me has been happening to me since I was a teenager. And over time, it would come and go. It would just be very random. It's not like this happened to me every week or on certain days or whatever, but it would, be gone for like a year and then come back, and then I'll have recurring sleep paralysis events. Okay, so I had another one a couple of nights ago, and at the risk of sounding like a total freak and a total weirdo, I am going to put this out there so that if someone else is going through it, then they won't feel so alone. And for me, that was the case. I didn't really tell a lot of people about this thing that happened to me because there was kind of like, I felt really weird about it. Like, why is this happening to me? And, people are going to think I'm such a weirdo. And, it's kind of like when a woman it's kind of like miscarriage. When a woman miscarries, there's some sort of guilt and shame, and you just don't tell anybody, but it's a very common thing. So what I learned was in my research was that sleep paralysis is actually a very common phenomenon, okay? And I really got a lot out of the personal testimonies of those 3 YouTubers that I just mentioned, and I just wanted to share my story. I just kind of have to, let it out somehow. And I was about 15 years old. I was in high school, and I was really kind of like a lost teenager. I was really rebellious. I constantly was in a state of rebellion and lying to my parents and doing really bad things, and and I just wasn't on the right path. Okay, so I was around 14 or 15. I was laying in bed, and I was on my left side. I like to sleep on my side, and my door is kind of behind me and to my right. Okay, so suddenly my body was completely frozen. And my eyes were like open, but I felt unbelievable fear and terror like I had never felt before. Like there was an evil presence in my room. It was awful. And I could feel that there was something there in my room, and it was behind me. And I was so terrified and just literally paralyzed with fear that I could not turn my body at all. I couldn't even bring my finger to even twitch. That's how frozen I was in sheer terror. And I just felt that, and it felt like it was lasting forever. Like, I was like, when is this going to end? I mean, it was the worst, thing that had ever happened to me. I remember the feeling, and I never want to feel that again. It was ugly, it was evil, it was negative, it was just an awful feeling. So, it felt like death, actually. So, I mean, whatever that feels like. Not like I know what death feels like, but maybe it was spiritual death, you know, the feeling that you're spiritually not alive or whatever. But it just wasn't a good feeling. And then in college, I remember it happened to me. I was laying on my back, and my roommate was on the other side of the room, and I froze again, and I felt like I was awake, and I was trying to scream out her name. I was trying to scream out her name, and the words wouldn't come out. And I remember just like watching her. She was right there, and I was completely helpless, and I wanted her to like wake up so that she can help me and maybe scare this thing off that was like pressing down on me, on my body. Yeah. So those are just some of the incidences when I was younger. And then it happened, you know, happened here and again throughout my life. And just, you know, just this past year too, I probably had 2 or 3 incidences since I moved here to my condo 3 years ago. And then there was another time where there was another force, and you can kind of feel it coming, and I felt my spiritual body was like trying to run away, and then immediately the force came and like had a chokehold and pressed me up against the headboard of my bed, and it pressed me, and it wasn't like a really bad physical choking sensation, but I can see that that's what it did. Like it just like it took me by the neck and like pushed me up against the headboard. And then after that incident, it just kind of stopped, and I don't know how I got out of it. I'm pretty sure, actually there were a couple of times when I said, you know, Jesus Christ, in the name of Jesus Christ, and when I said that, those forces or whatever they were went away. Now, the most recent one, okay, happened a couple nights ago, and I actually saw myself sleeping. I was watching myself sleeping, and I was like, oh look, there's me sleeping, how peaceful, I look so nice and innocent and peaceful, and then all of a sudden I saw the figure of a very tall, medium build man, and I couldn't see his face, but I just felt like he was wearing something red, and I had this sensation that there was that what he was wearing was red. So his whole body, his whole upper body, that's all I could see, and he was standing right at the side of my bed, and I was like, oh my god, there's somebody there, and I was like trying to look at him, and then that's when the grip happened, that paralyzing sensation, just like, the frozenness just happened, and then I was like, oh crap, it just crept up on me, because usually I can kind of feel it coming, but this time it was just like, he was there, I tried to look at his face, I couldn't look at his face, and then it gripped me, and as soon as it gripped me, I said, Jesus. I said, Jesus. And it got really mad, and I can hear almost like somebody is right next to my ear, like on both sides. And you hear this horrible sound. You know the sound in the movie Ghost when the guy who killed Patrick Swayze's character, who was supposedly his friend, and he betrayed Patrick Swayze by killing him and everything. When he dies in the movie, and there's all those like those black forces that come to get him, and I don't know if you remember the sound that those things were making in the movie, but that's almost exactly what it sounded like right here in my ears. So as soon as I said Jesus, I heard that noise really loud in my ear, and then I said Jesus one more time, and boom, it was gone. So what I'm trying to say is that my spiritual path has always been it's been very, very lukewarm, okay? So I didn't really develop a relationship with Jesus and God and stuff, like really the way I should have. And I was lost for a really long time. And lately I've been praying a lot more and really turning to God for strength, okay, and wisdom and guidance, okay, and so, and I would talk to God, and in my prayers I would talk to God, and I would be praying for those around me and praying for what I wanted to have happen in my life. And the more I do that, I feel like my faith started getting stronger. So this thing that happened to me a couple nights ago, it was the shortest amount of time that the gripping sensation, the duration of the gripping sensation was the shortest in all the times that it's happened to me, because my faith is so much stronger. And I really, truly believe that it's because I said Jesus, and then Jesus one more time, and the thing was, boom, it was over. And it was so quick, and I was so happy, you know, like, even though it kind of freaked me out, afterwards I felt like victorious, you know, like, you know, Jesus is on my side, you know what I mean? And it's really weird, because I sometimes wonder, you know, why this happens to me. You know, why does this happen to certain people? And some people, they don't ever experience something like that. And what Wolf Shaman 777 said in his video that was like 20 minutes long, I watched the whole thing. He said something like this: the evil spirits will not bother people who are not seeking a spiritual path, or in tuned with their spirituality, because there's nothing to, you know, there's nothing to fight, or there's nothing to, you know, scare that person, because they're not seeking God, they're not seeking Jesus at all. They're just kind of going about their day, and so the evil spirits don't feel like there's anything for them to do. But I think that this happens to people with the biggest potential for awakening, and the you know, the people who have the strongest relationship to God is the people that the evil ones try to put fear into. That's what I think, really. So I do believe that this last time, this one with where I was watching myself sleep, that was really bizarre. I've had so many different kind of sleep paralyses, like different types of things happening. But this one was a first, and this was the first that the paralyses lasted a very short time, because I was saying Jesus so quick, you know, and they left. They didn't like it. And actually, when I said Jesus the first time, they got really mad, and I heard that sound that was just like reverberating through my brain. And then I said Jesus the second time, and boom, and they were gone. And I was really happy about it, you know, and then it made me feel like even stronger in my faith. And I prayed again, you know, the next morning, and I've just been, you know, reading the Bible more. But I'm just saying that I am not a Jesus freak, and I don't go around trying to get people to believe what I believe. This is my own personal testimony of my spiritual journey. You know, I kind of, you know, always knew that there was a God, and yeah, this is what Jesus did, but I didn't really develop the relationship, okay? So that's the difference. It's not enough to just know intellectually. You really gotta have faith and dig deep and really, so for some reason my path led me to Christ, okay? Not because I was, you know, scared, but because I was searching so much. I really, really, really was searching, and now it's a matter of cultivating the relationship, you know. So that's my crazy story on sleep paralysis, the, you know, medical term that the society calls it, because, you know, people will want to give it a name. If they don't understand, they're just going to give it a name, like a medical term. But in actuality, it is a battle. It's spiritual warfare, basically. And I do feel like there's a spiritual dimension. So as my body is fully physically sleeping, my spirit body is completely awake and is having that that interaction and that encounter with this, you know, demonic energy or whatever it is. So I'm just saying, like, when it comes back, and it might come back, I know exactly what to do, and I'm not going to be fearful. And if there's anyone else that has experienced something like this, you know, drop me a line. Let me know what happened. I'd be really interested in knowing what you did to maybe stop it, or you know, things that you do to become stronger in your faith. I'd like to hear about it. So yeah, anyways, just wanted to tell you that story, and please don't think I'm a weirdo. It's actually really common, and I just wanted to share. And if there's anyone out there who thinks that they're a weirdo because they have those experiences, you're not alone. I know exactly what you went through, and I'm not making it up here. Just trying to let you know, I'm not trying to get attention or trying to make things up. This is my own experience. It is not a dream. I just want to emphasize that. It is not a dream. And there's a difference between when you're dreaming and you're having this spiritual attack happen. It's completely different. So please don't say, oh, it's just your imagination and you're dreaming. It's not. It's not that at all. And I know that for sure to my core. All right. So anyways, until next time, thanks for listening. Bye.